The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable conversational podcast that gives a voice to the Black experience.
Millennials from New York City sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we strive to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing?
Fantastic.
How's everyone doing? Welcome our tribe. What's good, everybody? Of course, you know, we coming in February. We coming in hot. It's Black History Month, as we all know. So, of course, we're going to talk about some current events that's Black related, as we always do. But, of course, before we jump into our topic, I got to introduce my peoples. Got to introduce my folks, my family.
Insert clap.
So, yes. So, I'm going to start off with, you know, a person who be sprinkling a little drip every now and again, everywhere, you know. So, I'm going to introduce Mash, the Spew God.
That me. What's good, everybody? What's good, gang? I appreciate you, TJ. What's good? It's your boy Mash, Spew Guy, drip. Please say the drip. Representing South Jamaica Queens. Only Queens make kings. You heard it here first. As the ambassador to Spew, which means spreading positive energy wherever. My job is to enrich the lives of everybody I meet, and I'm here for you, tribe. What's good? Have a great episode today.
Gang.
Yes, thank you, Mash.
No doubt.
Next, but not least, she always brings the frigidness. You know, she always brings the ice. I gotta introduce my bestie, the Ice Queen, TJ. What's good?
What up, tribe? It's your girl, TJ, the unicorn Gemini that brings duality to the podcast. Welcome back to another episode, tribe. Happy Black History Month. Every month is Black History Month. Shout out to the people.
Facts. And of course, I would have to introduce no other than myself, of course. It's your girl Mo. Of course, you know I hail from Co-op City, Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. I represent everything Bronx. Everything Bronx. And don't ever zone my shit. Be, you know, bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. What's good? Bow, bow. What's good, guys? And of course, last but not least, last but not least, I'm going to introduce America's favorite.
That's right.
Favorite. But what's this F going to stand for, Shay? What is this F going to stand for today?
Today I'll be a fugitive. America's favorite fugitive.
Okay. HSD. You know, that's one of the names we call him as well.
What it do? It's your boy Shake. You know what time it is. Let's have a good episode, y'all.
Yes, and I just want to shout out Flash, who has a prior engagement, so he can't be here with us today. But we love our bro.
Shout out to
Tank,
you,
you know, Flash the
bro.
philosopher.
We miss you,
He's
bro.
still here in spirit. Yeah. But he's gonna get us
I
together.
miss him.
You know he's still gonna edit our shit. So
yeah.
No choice.
We love you, bro. We
got him on payroll. We got him on payroll for future payments.
Exactly.
Future payments.
Definitely. So, of course, before we start, we got to get our zen. So
chakras aligned.
TJ is gonna get us together, get our alignment together. Take us away, TJ.
After he hits my whole no bad days and set music there. Mm-hmm. No bad days.
No bad days.
Exactly.
Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, not Saturdays, not Sunday. No bad days at all. This is the segment where I get to introduce you to a new chakra. Today, we're going to be talking about the solar plexus chakra. It's located right below your diaphragm in your stomach area. And it represents the color yellow. And it's responsible for your confidence, your self-esteem, you feeling your personal power, personal will. And it makes you feel like you're in control of your life. It's said to influence mental abilities, and it can regulate our fears. And it's also responsible for when we have gut feelings. That's your solar plexus chakra. When it's out of balance, you'll experience anxiety, be fearful. And then it also says that you feel like you don't have control of certain things. So some affirmations that we can focus on when I ring the singing bowl is, I am powerful and brave. My life has a divine purpose. And I accept myself completely.
Got it. Okay.
All right.
A part of me feel like, is this where women's intuition comes from? Is this
yeah, men have intuition too, though.
Yeah, I know.
There's a reason why you look through her phone. You know what I'm saying?
We
There's
don't do
a reason
that
why
we don't do that
at all. You don't look over her shoulder.
Nah, we don't do that. If she gonna play, she gonna play. She don't get caught. The whole thing though is with the
y'all don't look at all. That's why y'all be getting cheated on.
That's fine.
Well,
that's fine. It's either that or I'd rather not look than choose to be unhappy. Whenever you start prying and look at the shit, you're gonna find some shit. Nah,
that's true.
No, that's true.
I just want you to have the decency to not get caught. You start getting sloppy and shit. You want to leave me. You want.
So you want? It's okay if she cheats on you, but she got to do it real slick so that you never find out. Like do it in another country.
It's never okay to cheat on me. Let's be clear. It's never okay to cheat on me. But if you go and cheat on me, have the respect to not get caught.
Okay.
Have the respect.
Gotcha.
Respect. Cheat respectfully. We had an episode about this.
We did. Sure did.
We did. I think it's time for a part 2.
I agree.
If you agree, we need a part 2 of that. Just drop us a DM wherever. Yeah, drop it in the comments, DM, whatever you feel comfortable with. Anyway, back to the solar plexus chakra. So we're gonna go ahead and think about those affirmations that I reviewed with you, whatever resonates with you, and take a deep breath in and out.
That was a good
No
one.
bad days.
Nice. You're getting consecutively good with this, TJ.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect, tribe.
I like
practice makes perfect.
Definitely.
Gets you in the right energy every episode.
And you be serving it with a little swirl at the end. I peeped the swirl.
Yeah,
That's new. I like that.
Nash, you created a post. We getting better and better.
Every day.
We getting better
every day. Every day, every week, every month, every year.
Facts. Every day.
Now let's go to our word of the week. 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 Brought to us by America's favorite fugitive.
Hey,
nice.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Shake. I'm here to bring you today's word of the week.
I'm aware since we 1 minute short.
So today's word of the week is contrition, meaning a state of feeling remorseful and penitent. Right? Yeah, a state of feeling remorseful and penitent. It's also a noun, guys. All right. So all right. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna use a sentence. I'll say so when I got caught cheating on my test in class, to show contrition, I apologized to my professor. Contrition.
All right. We give you that.
Remorseful.
So yeah, that's remote. I get it. So before we jump into our topic, TJ, hit us with our 2020
Twin. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. You can listen to us wherever you hear podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon has podcasts. And then head on over to our social media and then just subscribe and follow us everywhere we are. On IG, we're at SoRatchet Podcast. On Twitter, we're at SoRatchet Pod. On TikTok, we're at SoRatchet Podcast. And on YouTube, we're at SoRatchet Space Podcast, where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces. This Wednesday, tonight, after you hear this episode at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going live on YouTube. We're going live on Twitter. We're going live on TikTok. So
we got the bots on our side. We got the bots.
And if you haven't found our Facebook group, that's coming too. Okay, we're gonna be live on all the platforms. So make sure you check us out tonight, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Wednesday. We love when you're in the building. We love when you connect with us, come with us. Let us know you're in the building. Say who you are and where you live, where you from. And I'm done.
And shout out to the tribe members who pop out every live. We love you, tribe members.
Yes, we love you. We love your engagement.
Let's do them a shout out.
Well, shout out to my shorty Danny. We got love.
Danny, stay in the comments.
I'm shouting out Darnay, who's always in the comment. I'm shouting out Nate, who stays
shout
in the
out my
comments.
man Nate and Darnay.
Yes,
Gang, love you guys.
Showing love. We have people that do pop out.
BFF. Folga was good. She pulled up.
Yes, she does.
Mimi
Jams
Solo,
pulls up
shout
too.
out to you.
Yes,
Slim
Miller
Jam,
pulls up
she
too.
pops up.
Slim J.
Who else show love? My man C-Roy, my homegirl
Yes, he
Pony.
does.
Yo,
Yes.
gang, we love you guys. Thank you, tribe.
Love
y'all.
Support
Love
all
y'all.
the time.
Of course. So, guys, of course, it's Black History Month. We in February, So, of course, we're bringing some topics to you. And all our topics have to be, happen to be about Blackness for this particular current events episode. So, I'm going to start with my boy Mash. Mash, take us away. What are we talking about today?
Yo, so I feel like a lot of our topics are always Black centered. If it's not
sure
Black
is.
centered, it's Black focused. I mean, it's
Right.
the most important stuff in the world. Anyway, so the topic that I want to talk to you all about today is claims that were made about my girl Aretha Franklin. For those who don't know, Aretha Franklin is a musical icon in the Black community. For many years, she has sang
Facts.
lullabies to a whole generation. If you don't know Aretha Franklin, you lying. You gotta know who Aretha Franklin is. All right, she made some wonderful songs. One particular song is called "Natural Woman." All right, so the hook goes, "You make me feel like a natural woman. Now, I can't sing. But there's a message in there. There's a message in there to the ladies out there. It's empowering. All right, it's supposed to be about making you feel good about yourself, feel good about being a woman. But there was recently a post from the trans community, and they was feeling away. It comes allegedly. This is the term my girl Mo put me on to. We like to throw this word around a lot because it helps make us, not guilty. Say it's a wild shit. So allegedly, they claim that this song produced in the 70s is harmful to the trans community. And, a part of me I felt the way about that. I felt slighted. I felt as though, how dare you? How dare you come across and say that this woman's beautiful song to represent women empowerment is offensive to the trans community? So let me read exactly what went down. So on January 23rd, an Instagram post featuring Aretha Franklin, along with a screenshot from an account identified as Trans Cultured Mindfulness Alliance, stated Aretha Franklin's 1986 song "Natural Woman" perpetuates multiple harmful anti-trans stereotypes. Read from the post. They said they wanted her to be removed from Spotify and Apple. Come to find out that this was fake. It was not actually a real post from the transgender community. This was a parody, apparently. And they had stated that since this post was put up, they took it down, saying that it was a joke, and the page itself was designed as satire, right? So they're saying that none of the things that they said were legitimate and was for comical purposes. But I want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about shit like that? In the climate that we're in, with this cancel culture and everybody being so woke, quote unquote, about how they feel about things, and everyone has an opinion about it. What are your thoughts on situations like this when someone makes a false statement or someone says something in joking that could be taken seriously? See, now, if the person or whoever made the post didn't come back later and let us know it was satire, this could have turned into a whole thing for my homie Aretha Franklin, who's no longer with us, God bless her soul. But it's just the legacy of the person who's called into question when people make statements like this. And I want to know what y'all thoughts on something like this. How do you feel about this icon's, basically image being shot at by this individual post?
I feel away.
Wow.
No, I feel away because my thing is, yes, it was a joke, but now this can resonate something else against this particular icon. So we have to be mindful of what we're making jokes about, because at the end of the day, these are people's careers, and she worked hard for her career, regardless of who may say what, but you know, it's just like, why do we even have to go there? Why we have to quote unquote attack a black woman or come at her for singing a song about natural woman? She's a natural woman, and that's what she wanted to sing about. Like Mash said, it was a song for woman empowerment, and I get that it was a parody, but to even go that far as to make it a joke now to kind of attack Aretha Franklin, I didn't like that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, for me, I felt like, so first off, the quote said 1986. The song was actually made in 1968. It was released in 1968. During that time, you know, and I'm not even gonna say it's still not a problem, but women are going through a lot, or were going through a lot during that time, you know, with women's rights, not being paid the same amount, not fucking, you know, just not having equal rights altogether. And I felt like, you know, for that was their struggle then, and to attack that struggle then, to attack a song that helped women, or that basically made women feel better during that time because of struggles now, or things that we feel are issues now, I think is bullshit. I think we definitely need to. Well, you did say it was satire. I just don't think. If it's a joke, I don't really care. But if this is actually a real issue, yeah, I would have a problem with it.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah, I agree. But if it was a real issue, I definitely would have a problem, because I just don't think it's right. Like, we know that she had no intent to maliciously try to do any of that stuff. Yeah, like.
I think that's exactly my fault. I was muted. I think that's exactly what it is, Mo. The intent behind it, right? Like there's no intent to harm nobody with that song. There's no intent to make anybody feel less than with that song. It's just that you come along, what 30 years later, 40 years later, and you talking about what I feel offended by this song. How gang? This song wasn't even talking about you. And nowhere in this song, trans community wasn't even a word back then. Like nobody was throwing that word in 1968. You know what I mean? So for you to feel attacked or offended by it is off-putting in a way, like you're just being vindictive, or you're intentionally being a problem starter, and that rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, damn, this is fucked up. We got to talk about this. Got to talk about this. Before I found it was satire, though.
The crazy part about it for me is I feel like a trans woman would sing that shit. Like it feels like right. You make me feel. I feel like that would be a song that they would like embrace. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like they would embrace it, because whatever body they're in, they feel like a natural woman. That what's natural to them. You know what I mean? So I think that they would embrace the song. So that's why I was like, really, 1968 definitely was no malintent. Like,
and
like
of all the songs to choose, that one, you mad about that one?
Right.
Of all the songs?
Yeah. So
I'm complete.
All right, you complete. All right. So I'm gonna jump in. Next with some news from Jamaica.
Her things are pop go on that side, brethren.
Yes, brethren, things are going over that song.
Look, pause. I just started watching Top Boy the other day. Yo, that shit is fire. Yo, if y'all ain't watching
What? You just started watching that, bro?
No, I'm gonna start watching it too. I need to go start it from the beginning.
To Top Boy's production company. My man Drizzy Drake was involved with that. I was reading the credits. They were like, Aubrey Drake. I was like, Drake is involved with this?
Wow.
The show itself, it gives me a Shatters vibe. It feels like a modern day Shatters, but like the way it's being produced and filmed.
I can't wait to watch it.
I highly recommend anybody who's looking for a good show to watch. Check out Top Boys.
Yo, bro, let me ask you a question, dude. When you watch movies,
but isn't it one that you got to watch before it? I think, or Top Boys is first.
Yeah, no, there's multiple. There's a few different series.
Yeah,
there's an older series as well, bro.
Yeah, there's an older series. They said start. They said start that one first. I can't remember it right now.
Put in Top Boy and just go
y'all
back.
Fucked me up. I was already
you got to start with that one
and then now. I can't go back
now. Top Boys.
yo, you can, but check it. After you watch the series, then go back. It'll be cool. It'll be fine. But my thing is, when you watch shows like that, do you feel like you have to put on the subtitle and shit? Because I'll be like, I don't even know what the fuck they talking about sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie. The English accent, bro, I definitely have to do that.
I definitely throw in the bruv. Bruv, what are you talking about, bruv?
Bruv.
I think that shit is bad.
Y'all a mess. Yeah, too much.
Sorry, but go ahead.
right.
I'm gonna
That's
look up
okay.
that top boy shit on my own.
Yeah. So I'm bringing some news from Jamaica. Of course, we know Usain Bolt. He is the fastest sprinter in the history of the sport of track and field.
Facts.
Yes, he currently holds world records in the 100 meter, the 200 meter, and the 4x1. And Usain Bolt retired back in 2017. So of course, we all, he's from Jamaica, so he's going to believe in his Jamaicans. So what he did was he put an investment. He invested actually millions of dollars in an investment portfolio stock. Sorry, Stocks and Securities Limited, according to his manager. Okay. So there is a investigation that has been launched in order to determine what happened to Bolt's money. So apparently he invested $12.4 million and was left with $12,000. Can you imagine?
No, I know somebody got
thousand as opposed to millions. Oh,
he invested $12.4 million and was left with $12,000. $12,000.
That's a problem.
So yes, it was. Wow, I can't even believe it.
It's evil.
Ooh. So the country, the country's Financial Investigation Division and Financial Services Commission is investigating this. What we do know is that there is a employee who came out and basically stated that she did take from the accounts because her father had cancer, and she was using that money to pay for his cancer. And then I think it was for 3 years, and then he later died. However, she said that she could pinpoint the people, the accounts that she took from, and I believe the company didn't even know that Usain Bolt was a part of the company, but she never said that she took from Usain Bolt. She admitted to that. So, homegirl, I feel bad for you about to do. I feel bad for you too, girl, but you about to do time.
She's gonna have to.
You're gonna have to.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Usain Bolt is gonna get that money back, but I know he might have to come out of retirement.
And he invested. He invested with the SSL company for over 10 years. Like I stated, there was a former employee who came out and stated what she did. So right now, there is an investigation going on. Jamaica's trying to get back some of the money. So, this remains to be seen. His attorneys are basically saying, like, y'all need to, the money needs to be back there. And I believe they're giving them a certain amount of time to pay back that money. And I know a lot of people may be thinking, wow, he has, essentially he's a millionaire. He went with Jamaica, to invest in. Everybody could say he could have went overseas, but I get Usain Bolt. He wants to invest with where he's from, with his country. That's where he was born and raised and bred it up and everything like that. But people are like, why would you invest in Jamaica? You have so many places that you can invest it with. But I understand why he would want to do that. This money.
You know what's wild is the fact that this is his retirement money.
Yes, and it was
ain't even like his play money. Like this is
money
that he was going.
He has 3 children. He has 3 children. He wants to use it also like for their college fund and stuff, for their college fund. And when you think about it, I don't think people understand. And I said it, that's the first thing how I introduced him. This is the fastest man in his. Do you know what that was? How much work you had to put in for that? You understand what I'm saying? It was so, and you got to think about it. When you think about Usain Bolt, it was so many things that they said about Usain. Oh, he's doping. They poked him and prodded him as far as testing him so many times to ensure that he wasn't taking any kind of enhancement drugs, because they just couldn't believe, that he was so fast, especially coming out of Jamaica. Like, Jamaica, they eat from the ground. They eat yams, bananas, but he was kind of ostracized in the beginning. Like, they tested him so many times, like trying to say or implicate that he had to be doping because he was so fast, and he wasn't. So this man really built his career off of his pure talent. And to know that $12.4 million was taken from him, I'd be sick. I'd be sick. I'd be sick. It's 100%, crazy. 100%. So I'm just wishing.
Was that all his money though? Was that all his money? Does he have a lot of money?
They said they left him with 12,000.
They left him with 12,000.
And I think that he also has endorsement deals and
endorsements.
Stuff.
Yeah, he's endorsed by Puma. He's endorsed by Puma, and I believe he gets paid every yearly and monthly from Puma. So he still has that money coming in. But I still need to know what's going on with my 12.4. I need my 12.4 million. Okay, that's a problem. So it's a big investigation going on, and I wish Usain Bolt luck that he gets his money back. This is his hard earned money that he worked for. Using his body. his feet, he ran. You know, so
you gotta really.
Hopefully they didn't invest in XRP. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember, I don't know if everybody remember, XRP fell apart and everybody fucking lost their money and shit. So you know, hopefully, I'm gonna be honest with you, like $12 million turned into $12,000 in last year's climate. I ain't saying that people wasn't stealing, but I'm saying it's a possibility because it was bad last year. It was.
The fact that homegirl took the money to try to help her dying parent is sad, but at the same time, that's not your fucking money. That's not your fucking money. You don't get a right to take my bread to do what you think is important with it without telling me you're taking my bread to do something important with it.
But not only that, it's under a company, and it seems like why did they only use her testimonial? Nobody else said.
No,
why is she taking the blame for everything?
I guess because
$11 million.
And what they're saying is she's saying that she can pinpoint the accounts that she took from. However, Usane's account wasn't one of them. You know what I mean? So she's saying she can say what account she took from.
So she just out here josh snitching on niggas. She got caught. She's like, I ain't gonna tell you it was him, but I fucked with other people's bread. That's crazy.
Right.
Bad snitch.
Right. So and they're looking at, of course, they're looking at CEOs of the company. They're looking at everybody. Like, this is an investigation. This is serious business.
Why was it so hard? Why was it so easy for her to just take from people's accounts? That's wild. Right.
I don't know. I don't know if people is checking it. I don't know if people is not checking their, like you're just leaving it there and expecting the money to grow. So you're not checking it as often. That part I can't answer. And I have no idea. But she admitted to it. She did. So, like I said, I wish him the best of luck. I'm gonna be following this story, of course, to find out, did he get his money back? So
hopefully we got good news for y'all next month.
Hopefully we got good news, right? Exactly, because I'm gonna follow the story. Yes,
8-time Olympic champion. That's crazy. You don't deserve that.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Exactly, fastest man. So I do want to jump in really quickly to we all know the Queen Bee. She's been pretty quiet. However, she popped up in Dubai. They opened a new hotel, the Ritzy Atlantis, the Royal Hotel in Dubai. Okay. She did an hour-long concert, and she was paid $24 million. Okay?
I heard it.
Give me my money.
Wait, Queen Bee, who you referring to? When I say
Beyonce.
Queen Bee, I thought you was talking about Kim. I thought you were going to be...
I initially thought Kim, too, because I was like, I haven't heard from her in a minute.
Lil Kim,
Beyonce. I'm talking about Beyonce for those.
Yeah, y'all bugging. Y'all cannot confuse Lil Kim with Queen Bee.
Not negative.
Lil Kim is Queen
knows
Bee,
Carter.
No way. No way.
She's
been replaced, bro. She's been replaced.
She's not been replaced.
She's not replaced. She's Queen Bee too. I'm talking about the Queen Bee from the Beehive, Beyonce.
Okay.
Or Beyonce knows Carter. Okay. Who performed in Dubai, did an hour set, and was paid $24 million.
Beyonce is the first person that should come to mind when you think the letter B. All right. When you hear AOB, it's gotta be Beyonce. All right. The fact that you put a queen on that shit is even more so Beyonce. I'm just leave it there.
I don't know about that.
All right. So we know who the Beyonce fans are.
Yes.
Did y'all notice the Beyonce runaway tour sweater? This is the Beehive over here. Just throwing it out there.
Is it? Is that the sweater?
Yeah, it's a sweater from the tour with her and Jay-Z on the road tour.
Oh, okay. So we know who the fans are.
Beehive, dog. Beehive, we out here. Shout out to B. Shout out to B.
The On the Run tour.
Facts.
That's what you're talking about. The On the Run tour. Yes, I just wanted to say
sweater.
Thank you.
Like it was a no phones. You couldn't record in for this particular concert, but she did an hour set. And she got paid $24 million. I'm just like, go ahead, sis.
I heard a big percentage of that went to her manager, aka Blue Ivy.
Okay, there you go. She did bring her out on stage.
Keep it in the family.
Yes, man.
Keep it in the family. Generational wealth, baby. We gotta
absolutely
closing that gap, that wealth gap between the races. We gotta close it.
Yeah, they billionaires.
So,
you know what I'm saying? They evaded taxes. They evaded tax. Well, no, I'm sorry. They're exploiting loopholes. That's what they're doing.
No, we're doing the American way. We all get to educate ourselves, so we're all doing it the American way.
It's legal to exploit loopholes. When I said that she's evading taxes, that's illegal. She's not evading taxes. She's exploiting loopholes. You know what I'm saying? Giving money to her daughter. And,
I will say she's doing it the American way.
Right.
the Trump.
She doing what the clear folks do.
Right
Exactly.
yeah,
I didn't even say Trump.
we all
Clear
get to
folks.
do that.
She's doing what the
Nice.
clear folks
Smart.
do. That's right.
Managing
Exactly.
the money
Right.
properly is what I would
That's
say.
right.
Mhm.
So I just want to bring that to the forum. But TJ,
Okay.
you could go. I mean, you're
Yes,
next with
there's a
your
lot of
news.
stuff going on. So that I don't know if
Mhm.
Beyonce's world news, right? Because she was in Dubai and that, but I have some news going on right
it is
here in the
world.
U.S.
Mhm.
What is it that Charlemagne says? The craziest people are from the Bronx or from Florida?
I agree.
From Bronx and Florida. Yeah,
And
he
I
always say
don't
Bronx
agree
and
with the
Florida.
Bronx. You know,
I don't
shout
agree
out
with
to
the
my
Bronx.
bestie.
You know, I may have a little. You know,
I do.
but
I do.
Florida's crazy.
Whatever.
I have
But
no
I will
interest in
say
residing in Florida.
we all agree with that right
Yes.
there. Okay, we all agree with that right there. So
Bronx.
there's no
Bronx.
Florida. But anyway, shout out to all my Bronxites.
Yeah.
But Florida, I
That's
don't know
what y'all
what's
call
going.
yourself? Yeah, Bronxites.
We're
Yeah.
Bronxite.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
Whatever.
BX. Anyway, BX strong. Back to what I was saying. So Florida, I don't know. Don't nobody want to ever go. We want to visit South Beach, but I don't
Yeah.
know who would want to live there. Like I'm so over a lot of things that's going on there. And they're in the headlines again. Their governor, Ron DeSantis, is pretty much on all the news channels talking about how he's rejecting this AP course in Florida high schools. Now, I just want to preface and let you guys know that they already have AP courses for Italian language and culture, Japanese language and culture, Italian language and culture, European history, all these AP courses, and they don't have anything on African American studies. And so pretty much what happened was the Department of Education. So this was on January 12th. The Department of Education wrote a letter to the College Board stating that, quote unquote, I'm going to use these quotes. The content of the course is inexplicably contrary to Florida law and significantly lacks educational value. I feel like I stuttered that up. So let me do it again. The content of this, okay, I'm going to say it again. The content of this course is inexplicably contrary to Florida law and lacks educational value. This is African American studies. They are upset with a few of the modules inside of the course, but the two in particular that they talk about is 419 and 420, where one is about, they're referring it to the gay agenda because they talk about, let me go back to it so I can make sure that I'm not missaying it. They're saying that it has critical race undertones, queer theories. Okay. And it goes under the whole gay agenda. So they're calling it queer theories and reparations. There is a law in Florida, guys, that is called the anti-woke law. Did you guys know that?
What does it mean?
So it means
Sure
that
didn't.
Anti-woke. So specifically, it says that, hold on, let me just go to it. In the law, it says that you can't teach, this anti-woke law, it says that you can't teach people about being oppressed or having privileges based on race or color.
They don't teach white people about how they became,
It's against this law. If you talk about anybody that has privilege based on their race or color, or if it's about people being oppressed based on their race and color, you cannot teach about it. It's against the anti-woke law.
That's like all American history.
So Ron DeSantis is basically saying he don't want people to talk about freaking slavery.
No, he don't want people to talk about history.
Reparations.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Pretty much.
History.
And that's exactly what a lot of the news reporters and the people that are coming on to speak on the news stations, and they're like, you're erasing our histories. If you don't allow us, I wanted to play a clip from CNN, but what I'll do is I'll add it to our post for this week. But in the clip, one of the CNN spokesmen, I think he was a senator for, I forgot what state, Black guy. And he's like, if we don't educate our children on exactly what we've been through, no one's going to know. And I'm not talking about, that's not a course just for Black people or Black children. That's for white children
everybody.
too. So everybody understands the play. If we're talking about all these other cultures and these AP courses, and we're not, and they're saying, in their defense, they are saying, they're not saying that they don't want the course at all. They just want these 2 chapters or these few modules to be revised, send it back to the committee to be approved. And we're like, we can't remove Black Lives Matters. They want us to remove Black Lives Matters because they support demolishing or eradicating jails, and because it has what is it, racial undertones, critical race thoughts undertones. So I just think that shit was crazy. I wanted to bring that to the tribe. I wanted to know what you guys think about it. And that's it.
I think that term critical race theory is like a dog whistle for like wiping his Black stories off the board. Like that shit is trash. Anytime you hear somebody say that critical race theory, they're really just saying we didn't give a shit about Rosa Parks, we didn't give a shit about Martin Luther King, we didn't give a shit about Malcolm X, we don't give a shit about Marcus Garvey, we didn't give a shit about nobody who did anything toward the progress of your race. I wouldn't give a shit about none of them people. All right, just deal with the current situation that you're in as is, and we don't talk about how you got here. That's bugged the fuck out to me. I understand how you can have any type of education without history. You can't have history. You can't have knowledge without knowing the past.
Facts. And then if you're allowing other cultures, but not the African American, it's like we get to have it to be all encompassing.
It feels intentional.
Right.
It feels
intentional. It does.
That's where I was gonna go. Now, if you said to me, all right, we're not gonna talk about the Jewish, we're not gonna talk about the Italian, we're not gonna talk about Asian, then fine. Yes, let's not talk about any of it, including us. Okay, no problem. But once you eradicate us as Black people, but it's fine to talk about the Italian, it's fine to talk about the Asians, I have an issue because and for me, that's just you're discriminating against us already. Oh, take out these 2. No. We don't want to take out 2 chapters. We want to tell our whole entire story from slavery to Black Lives Matter now to whatever it is, because this is part of our history. This is what's been going on with us. So why do we have to eradicate or take out certain chapters from us? Why is anybody else? Is the Asians or the Italians taking out any chapters for their history? I would like to know.
I could understand this maybe if this wasn't America. Maybe if it was like we was in Europe and they was like, yo, we don't want to talk about none of that shit that happened over there.
Right, because it's American. Right.
What's going on over there is crazy. But the things that happened over here built this place. Like we can't talk about what established this country unless we talk about those things that we face as a people.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't
and
have
we're
one
still
without the
facing
other.
it. We're still facing it. There's still a huge wealth gap between the races. You know, our children still need to know the education. I think white people still, and I feel like everyone feels very removed from it because, this happened 400 years ago or 300 years ago. But no, it's the
40
generations
years ago.
Or 40 years ago. We're still experiencing like the backlash of it, the emotional issues behind it, everything.
The
We're still dealing
issues
with
behind it. It's a
Systemic
legitimate problem.
Yes.
It's a legitimate problem. You know, like
It
there's a
is.
reason why people don't own property. There's a reason why so many Black people in jail. There's a reason why we have poor health care. There's a reason why our kids don't get taught the right information in school. It's none of this is by coincidence or happenstance. You know, it's bugged the fuck out. It's bugged out.
And it makes me feel like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Go ahead, Shay.
Go ahead. I just
wanted
go ahead,
to say
Shay, that
you didn't speak.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, it's a systemic thing. This is something that's systemic, and they want to brush it under the rug and tell people that
like it never happened.
Racism is over. I don't understand why we're still hard.
We all dancing on TikTok now. We're even.
Exactly. We're good. We have rich people like Queen Bee and Jay-Z and all these people that have closed the wealth gap. And now we don't need to talk about racism anymore, like it doesn't exist. And it's BS. I'm gonna keep it a stack. It
is. And I feel like some clear folks have no contrition for anything that we went through. Not one. Nothing.
She gets a point.
You know, but I'm just saying they don't have any kind of
ding ding ding
remorse or and that's why we teach it, not for you to be remorseful, but for you to know. And I get it, not for the people of our age, they may say, well, you know, I didn't do that or my people did, but you're part of that lineage. You know what I mean?
You benefit from
so you still need to understand what your lineage did, how you were able to progress, as opposed to me, how I was able to progress. You know, so you kind of it gives you a way to identify, like, you know what, damn, I didn't really know that you guys went through that. You know, while I may not be responsible, I understand that my lineage or my peoples did that, and so I get it, and I do. That's what we kind of need to.
I hear
to
what
bring
you're
to it.
saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, Omo. The people today are trying to separate
Right.
themselves from what happened
Yes.
back then. Like that wasn't
Correct.
me. That
Me.
wasn't me. That wasn't my family or
Then
whatever
give
like
back all
that.
the
But
money.
you,
Then give back
Right.
all the money that,
But it
that
was
you
in your
got
lineage.
from your parents winning.
but
You know
you
what I mean?
in
still
your lineage,
benefit
though.
from it. You still
Correct.
benefit from it at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think
that's what I'm saying.
I want to close it out with this, and then I want to jump into something real quick because it's kind of on the same topic of what you're talking about, how white people are acting or how white people feel right now. Like it's not me, like they're not taking any responsibility. But I do want to end it with something that Ron DeSantis said that really kind of made me feel a little eerie. People are trying to say that he should run for president. He's giving, I feel like he opened the doors for I feel like Trump opened the doors for more characters similar to him to come in. And what he's kind of, the last quote that I'm going to leave you with this is something similar to this that he said. I'm not going to quote him. But he was in reference to the woke people coming to Florida. He was like, Florida is where the woke people come to die, is what he says. That's his whole slogan.
That's about right.
Woke people will not live in Florida, is what he's saying. Woke is where, Florida is where the woke will die, is pretty much what he's saying.
I mean,
he's
they got
not having it, no tolerating it.
They do. So it makes
They
sense.
do.
Yeah.
It makes
They
sense.
do.
They should make it a part of their like state slogan. Like they were like Georgia peaches and shit. But we kill woke shit here. That's
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, that is his. It
That's
sounds
what he's
like
trying
it's a
to do.
slogan for him.
Right.
So
What he's trying to do.
Anyway,
that just pisses me off.
I know. In a little bit of a ratchet news, this is not really ratchet, but there's a new show on Netflix coming out that has Lauren London in it, Eddie Murphy. What's that white guy's name? Damn.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yes,
you.
it's called
Love
Two
Jonah
People. And this is something that I'm encouraging the tribe to watch. It talks about how, the story is, it's a rom-com, a romantic comedy, where it talks about, a black woman marrying a white guy. I'm not going to give it away, but it definitely talks about everything that we talked about in this episode already. How white people feel about the topics and how black people feel about the topics. And I love how the characters portrayed exactly what's going on in our communities and how some of us really do feel and how we can educate each other. And it starts in like these AP courses, educating the kids so that they can travel with that on, you know what I mean? And not, brainwash their kids and their kids and their kids to act oblivious. So I encourage you guys to watch the movie. It was really good. Lauren London, I haven't seen her in a while. I'm so happy to see her acting again with, outside of Nipsey Hussle's death. And she did a great job. I really loved the movie. And it gave me like the whole Meghan Markle and Harry kind of vibes, the little zebra love, like love is love. But I think there's a lot, and I know, look at Mash, I can see your black power.
Nah, I was thinking about something different.
Brain going off. Okay, good.
I was just thinking about like how the fact that this AP class is a high school class, and I didn't have no high school classes like this that I'm thinking about that was really specific about like current social issues that black people are going through.
Correct.
Yes.
When
And
I
we
think
needed
about
it.
my history class consisted of like what was it called? That we was called imperialism.
African American studies.
Yeah, it was imperialism.
Imperialism.
They talked about
European.
Yeah, European imperialism.
Yes,
You didn't really
European.
talk about the black experience, and if you did, we usually talked about it in the sense of like slavery being over and Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves.
Abraham
and shit like
Lincoln,
that. That was the paramount of it. Then it was Michael Jackson. Then it was Martin Luther King. But I didn't really start learning about Black history till I got into college.
Yeah.
So it's dope that they are making a push to teach African American history in high school. I don't understand why it took so long for us to get to that point, or why they're getting so much pushback for it. But I think that would be really beneficial to young black boys or young black girls.
But
and white kids too.
Didn't Ron DeSantis make it? It's Ron DeSantis, right? Ron DeSantis. Didn't he make it illegal to teach it? Period. Like, it's not only for high school. That's for all schools in Florida. No,
in Florida right now, it's not. They didn't approve it for it to be taught at all. They are asking for it to be revised and, brought back to the thing so that they can approve it. They're saying that they didn't not have it at all. But there was something going on in Florida where he made it illegal for them to talk about it, period. So if any teacher were to talk about it, they would get fined or fired. And so a lot of the teachers had to cover up their bookshelves because they were allowed to bring whatever books they wanted in the course or in the classroom or something. So they had to cover it up. It was just a lot going on with that.
Trash.
He's out of control. I'm sorry. I can't respect him at all.
I wonder how teachers feel about that, especially Black teachers. I want to know what our Black people in Florida, if you Tribe, if you're from Florida, I want to know how you feel about this. If you're white or Black, I still want to know how you feel about this. Drop it in the comments. Hit us in the DMs if you want to stay anonymous. We love to read your comments and talk about it. And let's talk about it this Wednesday tonight, after you hear this episode tonight, 9 p.m. on our live on YouTube.
Yes, definitely. I ain't with him. DeSantis.
I know.
Not me. I ain't
me
for
either.
You.
It makes me rethink wanting to go to South Beach too and support their community or their economy,
That's what I always say. No interest.
Anyway, what's next?
Over it. Shaky Shake. America's favorite.
Shake them down, Shake.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, it's your boy Shake, America's favorite. You know what I'm saying? So today I want to bring you guys a story. I want to bring you guys a story about Tyree Nicols. I mean, most of you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have been hearing it in the news already. It was a young Black man who was killed in Memphis, Tennessee. Let me give you the story. Okay, so on January 10th, 2023, Tyree Nicols died 3 days after a traffic stop by the Memphis Police Department officers. The Memphis Police Department initially stated on January 8th that the traffic stop of Nicols was due to reckless driving. But later, on January 27th, the Memphis police chief stated that the footage showed no evidence of probable cause for the traffic stop. Okay, following the traffic stop, an initial altercation ensued, during which officers deployed pepper spray and a taser. Nicols fled on foot, and within a short distance, a second altercation occurred when Memphis police officers caught up with him, then punched and kicked Nicols in the face and hit his back with a baton. Media outlets reported that the footage did not show Nicols resisting or appearing to provoke the officers during the beating. He was hospitalized in critical condition and ultimately died. And that he died on the 10th, but that altercation happened on the 7th. So
his mom stated that she believed that he died on the 7th, the day of the altercation. That's what.
How old was he?
He was 29 years old. He was a skater. He had no
prior arrest, no ticket, not even a ticket, not even a ticket.
Said the guy he was a good guy. And the crazy thing is, the officers that pulled him over, the officers that beat him, they were 5 Black officers.
Yeah, he was very close to his home as well. He was very close to his home. He called out for his mother.
Officers were Black?
Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Every last one of them.
That's a fact.
Yep, every last one of them. He was close to his home. He called out for his mother. Every last officer that beat him. When I'm saying they was coming here with it, like their hands was back here with the punches into his face. You see, they was throwing him haymakers, like they beat him up. And
that feels like gang activity.
He was a skinny dude.
What do you think police is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think for me, like we always say, police, they represent the blue, but the one different caveat that I would like to bring up is, and I'm not condoning what these officers did because they were absolutely wrong and they deserve it. But I just find it very peculiar that when it's a white officer that has beaten somebody, they become on administrative leave with pay. I just found that, but these officers was immediately terminated, which should have happened. That's what I'm saying. I agree they should have been immediately terminated. But however, if it's a white cop, I notice that they don't get immediately terminated. They go on leave, and I just want to. That's my only difference that I noticed here.
Good
I agree that they should, and I agree that they should have been immediately terminated. They should have. But why when the white officer does it, they go leave with pay?
Here's the thing, though.
I want to understand.
here's the thing though, Mo. In today's
Mhm.
climate, though, right? We're talking
Correct.
2023, especially
Mhm.
after what happened over these last few years.
Was George
I
Floyd?
feel
Yeah.
like I feel
Now
like whether they're black, white, or
I agree.
Latino, whatever they are,
They asked him to be fired.
they have to take it super seriously now. It's not like,
Absolutely.
oh, we're gonna just put you on administrative leave, let you keep on working. It's now that anywhere this happens now, we're talking about now.
Yes.
This has to
Okay.
be taken
I want to
completely
see.
seriously. It has to.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I believe that they
But
should have been immediately terminated as they was. That should have happened
absolutely,
because they
all
beat
of
that
them.
man. Yeah,
Mhm.
every last one of them. Every last
that-
one of them.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And my
Mhm.
question for you guys is: do you guys think this would have happened if Tyree was a white kid?
We can't say.
I can't even
Yeah.
say that, to be
We
honest.
I'm
can't
gonna be
say.
honest. I don't believe
I
it
don't know
would've.
that I would. I don't know. I feel like when they, you know why I'm gonna say that. I don't know if I should, because I noticed even when it's when these people do these mass shootings, right? I'm giving an
Mhm.
example. Every last one of them come out alive, unless they kill themselves. You know,
Mhm.
they put them in the handcuff. They're able to put them in handcuffs easily, but something as slow as a reckless driving, a quote unquote allegedly reckless driving, you couldn't just handcuff him. You had to
Mhm.
be him. But when it's a mass shooter, who we know is a mass shooter, they come out on, they just are able to arrest them without harming them or anything like that.
No,
I agree with everything. Sorry, my
Okay.
bad.
No, go ahead, Mash. Go ahead.
I agree with you saying what you're saying, Mo. But I
Mhm.
also think that the reason why it's hard to say if it would be
Mhm.
differently if he was white, Shake, is because
Uh-huh.
I don't know if black officers treat a white guy the same.
Correct.
Right? Maybe they wouldn't go as hard if he was white.
Mhm.
I think in this sense, it's rare that
Mhm.
we see cases when it's an all black police force whooping
Force.
somebody
Mhm.
ass. And
Correct.
that's what's even more troubling for me. Is like, why'd y'all have to do all of that? Y'all
Yeah.
look like him. Like we can't
Bro.
make the argument that white people are fucking up black people all the time when we see shit like this, because I feel like this is like, it didn't register for you that maybe this person he should stop whooping on his ass like this. Like they don't, nothing about the humanity of the person registered for none of these 5 people.
No.
I'm so glad that they got fired, and I'm glad that they acted swiftly on that. But at the same
Yes.
time, the personal aspect for me is like, why are y'all doing this to him? Like, I don't understand it. I just don't.
And
understand
I have an idea of why. I dated a cop, and he shared with me like some of the shit that they do. So imagine being on a job and you taking on that perspective of what you got to do in your
100%.
job, and how that kind of like shapes your decisions. You're not thinking as a black man. You're thinking as a cop.
They blue.
A cop.
Officers
That's what they said. They all blue.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so you see you against the bad guy. So everybody's like the bad guy. You know what I mean? So, and he used to tell me stories about shit that they used to do and think that was okay. Like when you you remember, I think it was here in New York that they put someone in the back of the cop truck. It was like the van, handcuffed him, and then they drove crazy. There's something that they call it. They call it something, and they do that. He confirmed with me. He was like, "Yeah, this is what we do. They beat him up by driving all recklessly in the truck, but this guy ended up dying. This is actually something that they had been doing until this guy died. A whole bunch of and sometimes our people don't even report some of these things that might happen to them. They just go to jail, and nobody talks about it. So I'm just telling you, I know what you're saying, Mash.
It's not that they don't report it. It doesn't reach us.
Yeah, it doesn't reach. Correct. It doesn't reach mainstream media and the news stations and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to let you know, Mash, like that's how that mindset can change. You're not thinking as a black person. You're thinking as a cop.
And what I also find disturbing too is that to know that you have on the body cam.
Oh my God, and you know that. Yeah, you know
still,
it.
And you know that you have on the body cam, and that means that your mentality is like, I'm protected by my uniform. I'm protected.
Yeah,
by
I'm above.
So you
I'm
think
above the law.
So you think, right? I'm above, right? So because if you're well enough, you know that you have on your body cam, and you still did what you did because in your mind, I'm a police officer. I'm covered by the blue. Yeah, but
they fired your ass.
All y'all asses got fucking fired. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you thought you were covered by the blue. Right.
Not only that, they're all facing murder charges. But what's going on in my Yeah, they all face the murder charges. Absolutely. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All of them. All of them.
Go back and see that video. Every last one of them.
Yeah.
And it takes forever for them to decide whether it's murder charges. This fast, they did that?
On January 24th, the 5 officers were arrested and charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, officer misconduct, and officer oppression.
You know, what goes through my mind...
And it took us so long to do anything with what's her name?
As of January 27th, all 5 have posted bail and been released, according to the county records.
Yo, my thing is, how does a traffic stop, right? Reckless driving, not even handcuffs. That don't even result in handcuffs. That results in a ticket, and I see you on your way. How does that escalate to the point of you guys are pepper spraying him, tasing him, chasing him up the block,
and when they were telling him, when they were telling him to get on the floor, like they had him on the floor, he was moving, and I believe people are scared because when you're by a cop, you're scared. He was moving a little bit or whatever, but he was like, I think he said like he called out for his mom definitely, and at one point he got up when they had him on the floor. At one point he did get up and he began to run. When he began to run, they chased him down. And that's, I think they would. So now you have to remind you, because now they're at this point, I think they're holding his hands. And when I tell you that they're just throwing haymakers, like he can't move his hands, and they are just bang.
Nothing he
just
did
in his face. Nothing he did warranted that.
Nothing.
That's why I said nothing. That's why I said nothing at all, to the point where you throwing haymakers, and you hear one of the cops saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you," or something. He says, "Oh, I'm gonna pull out." So it's like when you hear them talk, it's like the aggression in their voice, like y'all wanted to make this.
You're not supposed to be a cop. You're not supposed to be a cop.
Like you. No,
there's some professions you just should not be in if you have that.
But you know what it is? It's just that, like, it's an institutional thing. Like I was saying before, it doesn't matter what color the cop is. At the end of the day, they get the same training. And like, as a matter of fact, that's what TJ was saying before. They get the same type of training. This is an institutionalized training. They train them to believe that they're above the law. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they do it in the classes, but amongst each other, they're trained
internally.
Internally. This is their culture.
This is training day.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact, and that's how they treat that.
And to me, how that shows, and like I said, and I'm gonna go back to it, the fact that you had on a body cam. That you have on a body cam and still carried out that behavior, because in your mind, I'm untouchable. So I'm good. I'm untouchable.
So, but
ain't
not
shit gonna happen to me.
But here's the thing: not all officers actually were involved in the beating. You know what I mean? They said some of the officers stood around.
Might as well.
And watched it, but they're still
involved. You're a police officer. Your job is to protect and serve. You did not protect or serve that boy.
Right. And because at one point do you say, hey guys, all right, let's stop.
Go to jail.
I would rather have that on my I don't care if I would rather have that on my video.
On your recording.
On my recording. Hey guys, chill out. Let's
you
stop.
talking into the mic? Yo, guys, y'all need to break this shit up. What the fuck? Yeah.
In your camera.
Monique is not hiding right now.
Stop, guys.
Right. Let's stop, guys. Like I would say, hey, come on now. Let's all right. Let's put him in the handcuffs. Let's get him. Is he hurt? Let's call. Let me. I'm gonna batch up. Let me call up the EMS. You okay, sir? What's going on? Let me get EMS on board or whatever. And boom.
I could never see myself as a police
I get it in a situation like that. It's kind of like you're catch-22. Do I roll in with my boys, or do I take the right? But at that point, I'm not doing listen, it is what it is. I'm calling. You okay, sir? Let me get EMS on
in this day and age, that there's no justification for any of this.
None.
We've been through this way too many times. We've all seen COVID was a really big eye opener for everybody. If you was alive during COVID, then you've seen the atrocities that police brutality causes people. You know what I mean? There's no way you could be ignorant to it. So the fact that this is still something that we're dealing with, it just breaks my fucking heart that this is still a thing. This is still.
And if you saw Tyree, and I'm not to say that because anybody could, it doesn't matter weight, size, whatever, but he was a small frame. It didn't take motherfucking
he was a little guy.
It didn't take 5 of y'all. It did not.
It's crazy.
It didn't take
bullying.
It didn't take 5 of y'all, and y'all all have weapons.
It's a gang attack.
It's 5 of y'all.
It makes me think about all of the traffic stop experiences that I've had with police and how they all have gone negative. And I think about that may have been for him. There's nothing that he could have said that could warrant that.
Yeah.
Even if he got pulled, if he was driving reckless, got pulled up here, and he's like, "Yo, suck my dick off," I'm not showing you no license and registration. You still shouldn't beat this nigga to death.
Facts.
Nothing you could say that could provocate this. this type of behavior.
Absolutely.
It is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Absolutely.
ridiculous, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yo, and I ain't even gonna lie. Back in my 20s and shit, you know, I remember getting pulled over by a cop and shit, and because the sun was in my eyes, so I had missed the stop sign, and they pulled me over. They sitting in the back there writing the ticket. I get out the car. I'm sitting on the curb. I mean, I think about how that could have went left.
You
So
flex
quick.
your white man muscles.
Yeah.
Real shit, real shit,
Mhm.
real shit. That shit could have
Mhm.
went left, and luckily, you know, these cops showed some restraint, and they didn't even yell at me for get back in the car, none of that shit, right? But it could have gone left really quickly.
I
I
remember
knew
one
cops
time.
was. Mm.
Sorry, my fault. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I was gonna say I don't remember if you remember this, TJ. I think we went to. Was I with you? I think we went somewhere. We might have went to Atlantic City, and then the cops came on the loudspeaker.
Mhm.
Oh,
We was
really?
on the
They pulled
highway.
over?
And they was like, pull over, pull over, pull over. I remember being in the back and I was looking at the officer and the man pulled us over and everything. And I forgot who was driving, but the license plate wasn't a New York license plate. That much I remember. And they told us to pull over. Homeboy came up, it was a black officer too. Homeboy came up to the car. We rolled down the window and I'm in the back. You know, I ain't go, and my mouth too was back then. I was like, what's going on, officer so-and-so? And you know what the man said? Oh, I pulled y'all over because I wanted to see what y'all look like.
What?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, baby, I'll never forget that. And I was that's when I knew they was assholes. Like, really? You got on a whole fucking loudspeaker and on the highway,
What?
like, pull
What?
over, you know. So we're all in like, and that, I don't know if it was with you. And I was petrified,
Nervous.
like, oh shit, nervous as hell.
Hide the
Homeboy walks up
drugs.
to the car.
Did he bag
Yeah,
anybody? He get anybody number? Because it sounded
Not
like
at that point, because we was annoyed.
what it
We was
sounded
like,
like.
we was like, so no.
They just do what they want. They feel like they can do what they want. And
Basically, they can do what they want to do.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, even though it's black officers, you know, I'm happy that some type of justice they're trying to seek some type of justice for this. You know what I mean? And hopefully, you know what I mean, I'm not saying they should go to prison for the rest of their lives, but they have to do some prison time, especially the people who put hands on him. And it was like this is a lesson to other police officers that you can't just do what you want. You really
Is it a lesson?
Doesn't matter.
Is it a lesson?
It is, bro. It is, because check this out. You could beat somebody's ass and they die, and guess what? Now you could go to jail. It could be some real shit.
Yeah,
those police officers had
really
no
going to
intention
jail.
on killing this man. They had no intention on killing him, but they did.
Here's my thing with that statement. They just got arrested and they out on bail. Right now, they have to get convicted for us to be like they'll think twice.
Mm-hmm.
If a conviction doesn't happen, then it's like regular shit. If they get convicted, then I could say they'll think differently. But these niggas out, they on bail. Somebody paid for their bail, so whoever behind them, they out on these streets right now. I'm not saying that it's not likely that they're gonna get convicted, but I think that until they get convicted, we can't be happy with this.
Bro,
but I know where you're coming from, Shake. You're saying before they weren't even getting arrested.
They wasn't even getting arrested.
They were getting
on leave with pay.
So I know what you're saying, Shake. At least it's
right.
Trying to like prove a point so that other people will be scared to do it, so that they, you know, because of the consequences. I know where you're coming from, Shake. I hear you.
Absolutely.
And so it's small wins. I hear you.
Anything could happen. And the fact that their chief came out and said there was no reason for them to pull him over. Like, how did it get this far? How did it go that far? Like, we really need. I really need to see the body cam. I want to see what happened.
Yo, that shit was worse than Rodney King, my nigga. That shit was worse than Rodney King.
You saw it, man?
How did it get that far?
Yes, I'm telling you, I saw it.
Yeah.
It's a video.
I can't watch it.
And the one officer with the haymaker. I mean, that man's hand was cocked back, like
fucking him up,
like cocked back, and was just hitting him in his face.
Crazy.
It's a whole video, and you can see what he looked like in the hospital. It wasn't.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They said he was. They said he was unrecognizable. It wasn't cool. It wasn't
cool
at all.
Didn't recognize him when they went
His
to the
family
hospital
didn't recognize him.
Beat him bad. They beat him bad.
Yeah, they did, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right at all.
So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on Tyree Nicols.
Gosh.
As the story progresses,
we
need justice for Mr. Nicols, 100%.
Absolutely.
He was a father. It's crazy.
Oh, really? It's giving me vibes of remember back in the day? It's in the African American. No.
Amadou Diallo.
No.
Oh,
with the little kid where the mom found him.
Oh, with the whistle.
Whistling at the white lady. Emmett Till.
Emmett Till. Yeah, Emmett Till.
It's giving me that vibes. Like, she couldn't even recognize her son, and she was like, "I want the world to see this shit."
And that's how his mother is too. His mother actually
showing pictures.
Protest.
Showing that picture just right there is like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Cops did this? What? No.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh,
No,
good.
that's fine.
What else? What's our next topic?
I think that's it. But TJ gotta, of course, give us the 2020 twin.
Oh, I thought Shake was gonna go.
He went.
Shake just did. He went. He talked
Okay.
about
That was his
Tyree
thing.
Nicols.
Okay. That was it. Okay. All right, guys. Oh wow, the episode's finished
Yo,
already.
finished.
Yo,
Yeah.
laser sharp,
Dang.
stay
Yeah.
laser sharp out here. in
Laser
these
sharp,
streets,
baby.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
good.
Five.
We
I
don't
haven't
got
had
Flash.
it up yet.
We don't got Flash slowing shit down with his tech news. You know, Flash coming with the new
Nah.
tech shit. We talking
Nah,
about
Leave
that
my
shit
nigga
for
alone. Leave my
30 minutes.
free
Don't
label
talk about
alone. Leave my
Flash the
free label
philosopher.
around. Leave my
Don't talk
free
about
label
Flash the
alone.
philosopher.
Free
Don't talk
label.
about
Yo,
Flash the
I didn't
philosopher.
gonna lie. Flash's tech news. We talk about his shit for like 30 minutes because
It'd be good. It'd be
It do.
good.
I ain't gonna lie.
Tech is taking
I-
over right
It
now.
does.
Tech is taking over.
That's a fact.
Anyway,
TJ,
tribe.
take us to our 2020 twin.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet, where we bring you the real in a world of fake. Go ahead and listen to us everywhere you hear podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and then hop over to our social media. We're on IG at SoRatchet Podcast. We're on TikTok at SoRatchet Podcast. We're on Twitter at SoRatchet Pod, and we're on YouTube at SoRatchet Space Podcast, where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces. We go live tonight, tribe. If you're listening to this episode right now, that means that you've hit the notification bell and you get notified every time we drop a new episode.
Okay.
Run on over to our TikTok tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, our YouTube tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going live and we're going to be talking about all this shit right now, and some new shit. So get live with us, and we look forward to seeing you tonight.
Facts. We love you, tribe. Peace.
Facts. Peace.
See you tonight.